It starts quietly. No one notices at first. You're 7 years old, staring into the eyes of a parent who is falling apart. Maybe it's anger. Maybe it's addiction. Maybe it's just the hollow silence of someone too broken to love you the way you needed. And somewhere inside you, something ancient awakens. If I don't hold everything together, no one will. That's the moment a child disappears. Not from the world, but from themselves. They smile more. Cry less. They read every mood before speaking a word. They become the peacekeepers, the quiet caretakers, the ones who never ask for too much. And the world calls them mature. Responsible. Strong. But no one ever asks, at what cost? Because this is the invisible grief of those who grew up too fast. The wound that doesn't fade with age. It follows you into love, into work, into every corner of your worth. You start living to survive instead of to live. And the same instincts that once protected you, now quietly destroy you. When a child is forced to care for the emotions of adults, psychologists call it parentification. The child becomes the parent, the therapist, the protector, the peacekeeper. It doesn't just change their childhood. It changes their brain. They learn to scan for danger, to walk on eggshells, to trade peace for safety. They learn that love must be earned. That needs are dangerous. That silence keeps everyone calm. So they vanish, not physically, but emotionally. And in their place grows a version of them that performs perfectly. The good child. The quiet achiever. The one who never breaks, never complains. But deep inside, a small voice whispers, "Why didn't anyone protect me?" As they grow, the pain evolves. They become hyper-independent, refusing help. They chase perfection but feel nothing when they reach it. Joy feels unsafe. Peace feels suspicious. Stillness feels wrong. And they don't even notice they're still stuck in survival mode. Because when chaos is normal, calm feels like danger. This is not just sadness. It's trauma wearing a smile. Children do not choose this role. They do it to survive. Because a child will do anything for love. Even abandon themselves. It isn't weakness. It's instinct. But what once saved you now keeps you trapped. So you grow into an adult who gives too much, helps too much, feels too little. You overachieve to be loved. You stay quiet to stay safe. You carry everyone's pain but never your own. And deep down, you still wait for someone to notice. That behind your strength, you are exhausted. That your smile hides a lifetime of holding things together. Healing doesn't begin with fixing. It begins with witnessing. With finally saying, "Yes, that happened. Yes, it hurt. And no, it wasn't my fault." Because until you see your own pain, you keep gaslighting yourself with, "It wasn't that bad. Others had it worse. I turned out fine." But fine is just another mask. So what happens when that child grows up? They become adults who flinch at kindness. Who apologize for crying. Who confuse exhaustion with success. That's the cost of growing up too fast. If you learn strength instead of softness, silence instead of honesty, you inherit a life where you're always holding your breath, waiting for permission to finally fall apart. But no one's coming to save that child. You are. You are the one who must go back and say, "You didn't deserve that. You were just a child. You can rest now." This is where real healing begins. Not pretending, not pushing, not painting over pain with false positivity. But sitting with the broken parts of yourself and saying, "I see you. I hear you. I'm not leaving." It's not easy. It means grieving the birthdays no one remembered. The innocence you lost protecting others. The laughter that never felt safe. But that grief is not weakness. It's thawing. It's life returning to a place that's been frozen for years. You start noticing patterns. You're always the therapist in your friendships. The fixer in your relationships. You over-explain, over-give, over-function. And wonder why no one ever truly sees you. But these aren't your personality traits. They're your coping strategies. Learned. Conditioned. And, thankfully, unlearnable. Ask your inner child. What did I need that I never got? You might hear. I needed someone to say it wasn't my fault. I needed someone to ask how I was. I needed to play. To rest. To laugh. And slowly, you begin giving yourself those things. Not to fix the past. But to stop reliving it. Carl Jung once said, "There is no coming to consciousness without pain. Healing means facing everything you were taught to hide. The scared parts, the angry parts, the parts that still ache to be loved. Because healing isn't about becoming someone new. It's about remembering who you were. Before the world told you who to be. So if you grew up too fast, remember. Your maturity was never the problem. The problem was that you had no choice. But now, you do. You can choose rest over responsibility. Softness over strength. Truth over performance. And there will be days you feel like a child again. Good. That's the point. Let that child come home. Let them cry. Let them laugh. Let them finally be seen. You're not broken. You're becoming whole. You never had a childhood. But you still have a future. And this time, you get to write it.